Every year, hundreds of billions of dollars slip across U.S. borders without being declared. Not in armored trucks, not through official wire transfers, but in ways so creative that most people would never imagine them. Here's the shocking truth. While ordinary citizens stress about bank fees and tax audits, criminals move fortunes across borders with strategies so sophisticated that even regulators struggle to keep up. They hide money in shipments of fruit, tuck it inside casinos, wire it through shell companies, and even use crypto wallets on phones smaller than your palm. Welcome to Trillion Dollar Empire, your guide to wealth, power, and the secrets of the financial elite. In this video, we're going deep into the secret playbook of international criminals, exposing the 10 most effective ways dirty money crosses U.S. borders without detection. You'll see how drug lords, smugglers, and fraudsters outwit authorities, and more importantly, you'll discover the hidden lessons about wealth, power, and secrecy that the ultra-rich quietly understand. Stick with me until the end, because I'll share a bonus method so powerful it forced the U.S. government to rewrite its anti-money laundering laws. Criminals understand one universal rule: money is useless if it sits in one place. It needs to move. Across cities, across countries, across continents. And the United States, as the world's largest economy, is both the most dangerous and the most rewarding place to move it. Number 1, bulk cash smuggling. Imagine this. A cartel moves thousands of pounds of cocaine into the U.S. each week. Americans buy it in cash. That cash piles up in basements and warehouses, mountains of $100 bills impossible to spend openly. So what do? They pack it into hidden compartments in cars, trucks, or even commercial planes and send it south into Mexico. According to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, billions in bulk cash cross the U.S.-Mexico border this way every year. To hide the smell of ink, smugglers sometimes wrap stacks of bills in plastic and coat them with mustard or coffee grounds to confuse drug-sniffing dogs. Here's the real lesson. Money, no matter how dirty, becomes powerful the moment it slips past the first barrier. Once it crosses that checkpoint, it's no longer just cash in a basement. It's fuel for mansions, businesses, and influence. Number 2, trade-based money laundering. Criminals quickly realized cash is bulky and risky. So they turned to trade-based money laundering. This is where you hide money inside legitimate commerce. Imagine a container of bananas leaving Miami for Bogota. On the invoice, the bananas are priced at $1 million, when in reality they're only worth $100,000. That extra $900,000? Pure laundering disguised as trade. Sometimes it works in reverse, under-invoicing imports so that less money officially leaves the U.S. The U.S. Treasury calls this one of the hardest schemes to detect because global trade is so massive, tens of trillions of dollars annually, that small manipulations get lost in the noise. The lesson here is one the ultra-wealthy have always known. The bigger the system, the easier it is to hide in plain sight. Number 3, black market peso exchange. Another favorite is the black market peso exchange, perfected by Colombian cartels. Here's how it works. Drug money piles up in U.S. cities in dollars. Instead of sending risky cash back to Colombia, cartel middlemen sell those dollars to Colombian importers who need U.S. currency to buy American goods. The importer pays the cartel in pesos inside Colombia. The cartel is happy because they've converted dirty U.S. dollars into usable pesos without ever crossing a border. The importer gets cheaper access to dollars. The genius of this system is that it uses legitimate businesses as the laundering engine. For decades, it's been almost unstoppable. Number 4, casinos. Walk into Las Vegas with $200,000 in dirty cash. Buy chips, gamble a little, then cash out. Now you walk out with a check from the casino. It looks like winnings, but in reality, it's clean money. Criminals have long used casinos on U.S. borders, like those near Native American reservations or across from Canada, as safe havens for laundering. And the ultra-rich lesson here? Money loves legitimacy. Casinos, luxury resorts, and exclusive clubs often serve as perfect covers for wealth transformation. Number 5. Cryptocurrency. Criminals discovered that Bitcoin wallets can cross borders without ever being detected by customs. Imagine putting $10 million onto a USB stick or even a smartphone. Walk through the airport with nothing more than your phone in your pocket. No metal detectors, no cash-sniffing dogs. Once you land, you sell the crypto for local currency. U.S. authorities have cracked down, but decentralized finance platforms make it almost impossible to stop completely. The ultra-wealthy recognize that whoever controls the freedom to move wealth faster, cheaper, and with fewer restrictions has a massive advantage in both business and power. Number 6. Shell companies and offshore accounts. Delaware, Wyoming, and Nevada are famous not just for business opportunities, but for secrecy. In Caribbean havens like the Cayman Islands, criminals can create layers of ownership so complex that even trained investigators struggle to find the real owner. A drug lord can own a Miami mansion not under his own name, but under Sunshine Holdings LLC, which itself is owned by another company in Panama, which is owned by a trust in the British Virgin Islands. It's a spiderweb of paper that hides the true owner. The lesson? The ultra-rich don't put their names on mansions and yachts. They hide them behind companies and trusts, so the world sees nothing, but they control everything. Number 7. Money service businesses. A small remittance office in New York might send hundreds of small payments under $10,000 each to Mexico or Asia. Individually, they look harmless. Together, they move millions. By structuring transactions to stay below reporting thresholds, criminals avoid suspicion. The phrase insiders use for this is smurfing, lots of little transfers adding up to one giant river of cash. The ultra-rich apply the same principle legally. They diversify transactions to reduce risk. Criminals just do it in the shadows. Number 8. Art and luxury goods. High-value paintings, diamonds, watches, and rare collectibles can move across borders with little scrutiny compared to cash. A criminal can buy a Picasso in New York with dirty dollars, ship it overseas, and resell it in Europe for clean euros. Because the value of art is subjective and often hidden in private sales, it's one of the best tools for laundering. The ultra-wealthy leverage art legally to lower taxes and elevate their social image, while criminals exploit art illegally to hide money, move wealth across borders, and disguise its origin. Number 9. Hawala system. Imagine you're in Los Angeles with $1 million in dirty money. You go to a hawala broker, hand him the cash, and he calls a partner in Dubai. Within hours, your associate in Dubai picks up $1 million in local currency. No wires, no customs, no paperwork. It's all based on trust, family ties, and honor. Authorities hate it because it bypasses every official system. But for criminals, hawala remains one of the safest cross-border methods. The lesson? Even in a world of crypto and billion-dollar banks, some of the oldest money networks survive because they run on trust, not technology. And trust, when it's strong enough, is harder to break than any system. Number 10, real estate near borders. They buy strip malls, warehouses, or residential blocks. Rental payments, mortgages, and resale profits allow dirty cash to flow into legitimate equity. Once it's tied to land and buildings, it becomes harder to seize and much easier to explain. As FinCEN investigations have shown, U.S. real estate has been one of the top targets for money laundering for decades. The wealthy already know this. Real estate is both a store of value and a cloak of legitimacy. Here's your exclusive bonus for staying until the end. One of the most powerful tools criminals ever used was the correspondent banking system. For decades, small foreign banks with loose oversight had correspondent accounts with big U.S. banks like JP Morgan, Citibank, and Bank of America. Criminals funneled money into those small banks abroad, which then passed it into the U.S. financial system through their big bank partners. It was so effective that in 2001, U.S. lawmakers rewrote entire sections of anti-money-laundering laws under the Patriot Act to crack down on correspondent accounts. The lesson? Even the largest banks in the world can become unknowing conduits for dirty money. So what have we uncovered? That criminals move money across U.S. borders, not just with duffel bags of cash, but with trade invoices, casino chips, shell companies, crypto wallets, hawala brokers, and even priceless art. They exploit the same systems the ultra-rich use legally: real estate, offshore structures, networks of trust, but with darker intent. The big takeaway? Money is movement. It doesn't matter whether you're a billionaire hedge fund manager or a cartel boss. If you can move it safely, you keep it. If you can't, you lose it. Here's my challenge to you. The next time you hear about money laundering or criminal empires, don't dismiss it as underworld drama. Ask yourself instead, what systems do they exploit that the wealthy also use? And what can you learn about protecting, growing, and securing your own money from those same lessons? Because wealth, whether clean or dirty, obeys the same laws of movement. And those who master the flow of money across borders aren't just criminals, they're power brokers. And as always, trillion-dollar empire, we keep upgrading your life. If you love this episode, don't forget to click the subscribe button, like, and share. See you on the next one.